Welcome once again to Wind Down Entre Amigas. Yo soy Luz.
Y yo soy Celia.
Ahora estamos aquí. Tenemos una special guest. Right now is Fabiola. She's actually my sister. We're actually doing our episode tonight is Boss Babe Energy. So Fabi is our guest. So Fabi is an entrepreneur. She basically runs her own office. She's in the financial services field. So she's going to be sharing a little bit more detail and kind of get more deep what she does. First, we're going to start, Fabi. We always do a wine check. Yes. So today we are drinking, let me see, ¿qué somos? Moscato and peach. Let's see. So cheers, ladies, and then we will rate it. Salud.
Fondo. Nothing less.
Oh, I like the smell right away.
I was going to say, I like the smell. Let's see
the taste is good.
Mm-hmm.
Very peachy. Mm-hmm. This one's good. What do you guys rate it? Let's see, Fabiola.
I say, for me, it's a good 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
About 6.5 for me.
I would say 8. Me gustó. It really tastes like peach.
Sí me gusta, pero no me gustan tan dulces. So
I'm not tan dulces.
But I like the smell.
See, you taste the peach a lot. Mm-hmm. I can taste the peach a lot. So I definitely enjoy that one. Nice. Okay, so you want to get started?
Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about Fabiola's story. She's going to share from when she was younger till now. So what do you want to share about when you were younger, about your story?
Honestly, I just grew up with a single dad. I used to just work 2 regular jobs, and then at 21, I ended up I was just praying for an opportunity. I didn't want to, keep working at like regular jobs. It was just never for me. And my dad actually would always tell me, like, go into business for yourself, and that was always like a desire that I had, and the opportunity presented itself in finance. And somebody invited me to an office. I got started, and honestly, I just felt like that was my opportunity to have a business. And I took it and I ran with it. I didn't feel qualified, was really antisocial, super hardcore introvert, super out of my comfort zone. But I knew that I wanted to get better in those areas, and I wanted to challenge myself to learn something new. And then, I've been there ever since. So I've been already in the industry for 12 years now. So I'm super, super young.
Like, damn, 12 years.
I was going to say that 12 years already? Yeah. Went by too fast.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, we didn't meet, like we talked about it before in Primerica. Nani was 1, so that makes sense. Damn, but when you say 12, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Almost 13.
Sí. Suena como que poquito, pero it's actually a long time. Yeah. Do you feel that you had any challenges on the business for being a Latina?
I don't feel that I did as a Latina, but I feel that I did as in like a woman in business. I feel like definitely probably has been harder. Just because I feel like it's different. I mean, I feel like men, they just naturally fall into that role, I feel like. And they're naturally accepted and respected in that role as well. And I feel like with women, we kind of have to work a little harder. We have to have a stronger personality for people to listen to us. Just because we're just naturally, I guess, not softer, but yeah, we're flowers. In business, you have to be like a freaking
cactus.
So I feel like that probably has been the biggest challenge in business. Is just learning when I have to be a little,
a cactus.
I be a flower, So that's been probably the hardest thing to kind of juggle. But I mean, yeah, it just comes with the territory.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Do you feel that there was a moment when you said, shoot, this is really what I want to do? Or do you feel like you just kind of flow y se te dio?
Honestly, I feel like when I was 21, when I found the opportunity, I remember one day just being a little depressed, and I just remember thinking, like, I didn't want to just wake up every day, have to clock in, clock out, 30 minutes to have your lunch, commute to work. Like, I knew that was just not for me. School wasn't for me. There's a lot of things that wasn't for me, So I just remember praying to God for an opportunity that was going to challenge me, people that were going to maybe guide me or help me, mentor me, something in the realm of business. And then 2 weeks later, somebody invited me to an office, and I knew that day, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I remember sitting there in that office and literally getting chills. So that was the moment for me where I was like, God placed me here. Am I qualified? Probably not. Am I gonna suck? Probably in the beginning, but like I knew that I was supposed to be there, and that was gonna help me grow and develop the skills exactly how I wanted. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that part.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel like you have been able to balance like the expectations, like you said, of being a woman in the finance field, your family expectations, and then also being so independent? How have you been able to balance all that?
Um, I feel like in the beginning of any business, so for those of you out there that maybe you have a business or you're thinking about maybe starting something, just know that in the beginning you're not gonna have balance. It's crazy to think that you can in the beginning. Like if you really think of like successful people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all these like crazy successful entrepreneurs, if you really hear their story, you see like a lot of them, you know, in the beginning years, however long it took for that business, a lot of them slept at that business. They didn't see their family. They had to sacrifice a lot. Sometimes they didn't have money coming in. Sometimes they filed bankruptcy and they had to start all over and like so many different things. And I'm sure that in those phases, they didn't have balance. But once you get through that building stage of any startup, I feel like you start getting yourself to a position where you can be a little more balanced and you can kind of stop a little bit and smell the roses and spend more time with your family and invest into you. So I feel like it happens over time. So you just got to give yourself grace. And I think it's also important to talk to your family, you know, like I'm really grateful that I have my family that have been supportive. Like they knew that I was probably not going to be at every birthday party. I was probably going to show up sometimes and just drop off a present and leave. And even though, you know, here and there, you know, they would complain, but like they understood why I was doing what I was doing. And they gave me the space for me to continue to do what I had to do in order to kind of get my business going. So I feel like eventually you'll have it, but just know that in the beginning, you are going to have to sacrifice. And that's a part of building a business and just success in general.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, talking with like you where you're talking about hustling, and how you have to have that balance. Now, how do you compare it from like, let's say, the way we were raised of hustling since we were little? Now you're hustling in the business field, in the financial field. How do you compare that? Let's say the what does it mean to you? I would say más fácil the differences of a hustle life compared to someone that is just, hey, I just want something, the soft life, you know, something where I just go to work, get my stuff done, just live kind of. How does that compare to you?
Um, I feel like whatever it is for you, honestly, I've learned having a business is hard as hell. Okay, let's even start there. It's not for everybody. I remember my dad would tell me actually when I was a little girl, my dad was always into businesses and he would always say, look, don't take it personal. Or he said, I don't take it personal when people tell me, no, I don't want to start a business or work with you. Because I remember he would say, you need people in every position in life. You need people to work at Amazon. You need doctors, you need lawyers, you need hairstylists. Imagine if everybody did the same business. We wouldn't, the world just wouldn't go around, right? So it's like he would always tell me that. So I feel like I understand all of it. It just depends on what you want. Because I feel like if you're that person that maybe you want to do both, now the world is so open after COVID. People have side hustles and they know that it's like you got to do more stuff. So I just feel like it's whatever works for you. If you do want that life where you don't have to stress and you don't have to worry about challenging yourself every day and self improvement and this and delegating, and then just do your life, you know, like it's okay, you know. But if you do are that person that you want to challenge yourself and you want to push the limits and just have a different type of lifestyle and all that kind of stuff, just know that it's gonna come with a lot of work, and the journey is long, but it's definitely worth it.
It's definitely worth it, for sure, for sure. Now, going back to a little bit of childhood, you know, I mean, as being your sister, obviously I know, but talk a little bit about like when we used to do, you know, you already had that business side of it, of the mindset. You used to sell stickers, you used to sell candies. Now, talk a little bit about that first.
So yeah, so it's crazy. I don't know if anybody here is religious, but I truly am like I'm not religious as in like a religion, but I feel like God gave us all gifts. And I remember for me, since I was little, even before my dad was doing businesses and telling me to own a business, I would start businesses when I was little. I remember my grandpa giving me money. I remember my grandpa bought me, I don't know if you remember
The little
this.
case.
It was like a little fishing, I don't know if you guys seen those.
It's like the tackle. Yeah, you hold all the tackle, the bait,
fishing.
like the little hooks that has a bunch of
Yeah.
little.
And my grandpa would give me money, and I remember thinking, okay, well, he gives me money. He gave me this little box. What can I do with it? And I used to love stickers. I was like crazy about stickers or sticky things. And I would buy stickers, cut them up, and then sell them like 10 cents in my apartment building. Like we had a lot of apartments there in Gilroy, and we would just go walk, and I would sell them. I would sell food, candies. When my dad was doing businesses, he would actually send me with like little boxes of like his Amway stuff and go knock on doors and tell people that you have products or whatever. So it's like I always loved business. And I knew I was always going to be in business. I just didn't know like in what field or how I was going to like materialize. But I knew that one day I was going to do that.
And the funny thing I remember también is like sometimes like that, when it came to the point where like, oh, I'll pay you next week. And then my mom or my dad had to go tell the person like, oh, it's today's the day that you're supposed to pay me. She would send us both, and I would be so embarrassed because I'm more quiet, and I'd be like, Fabi, you tell them to cobrales. So she wouldn't be shy to like, oh, my mom sent me porque you owe her $20 or for whatever you got, and she wouldn't be embarrassed. I was. So that I think that she always had that in her. So I think, like she said, I think that's a gift that she's always had. So for sure, I definitely see it in the field. Yeah. Plus, I think my dad had a lot of influence too. As we were growing up, my dad always said like, you guys want to own a business. You don't want to always have a boss to, tell you what to do, what not to do. They say you want to have a business, be your own boss. And since we remember my dad, I think that's one of the best things that I can say that he instilled in us is like having that mentality of chasing. If you want something, you got to go get it. We never were given anything. It was like, well, you want those shoes? Let's go do the yards. Come work with me in my business. I mean, we know it's funny because even when I got to my job that I have now, one of the things is like, oh, what do you know? Because I just had that experience of being in office. What do you know? I was like, oh, well, I know how to put grass. Oh, I know how to put sprinklers. And they're like, really? You know how to use the measurements? Yeah, my dad. Oh, why? My dad had a business. That's my dad didn't care we were women. For him, it was like, you're gonna go work, like doesn't matter, He even says when he tells the boys, oh yeah, I wouldn't even pay you guys charge me, and the girls wouldn't pay, and trabajaban más duro que ustedes. ¿Te acuerdas que he would always tell them? Now, going back to your young self, what is an advice that you would give to your younger self? Let's say you're selling those stickers at 7, 8 years old. What would you tell that little girl?
The biggest thing I feel like would be, I feel like when you're kids, you're like very pure. I feel like that's like the purest human form, like you don't care about anything. You're creative, you're happy, you're just. So I feel like if I could go back, I would just say don't lose that, like fight for that, like to have, the dreams and nobody us not caring about what people think all the time. And I feel like that kills so many people. And I know it's stopped me a lot in my life too. That it's like as we get older, we start getting more critical. We stop dreaming. We stop laughing and just enjoying the little things. So I feel like that would be like the biggest thing. Like just keep being you. Stay as pure as you can. I know life is gonna beat you down, but just at least never stop being in that creative, fun, a fun state, and don't care too much about what people think about you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, what would you say would be the toughest thing about being a boss babe?
I think the biggest thing is just having to face yourself is the biggest thing. And now that we're talking right now, real quick. So I remember my dad. So my dad, most of our life, he was a hardcore alcoholic. And when I was 9, somebody invited him to a business. So my dad actually switched his whole life around. He started self developing, listening to audios. He basically like stop drinking alcohol, like just like no rehab, no nothing, just like stop drinking. And I seen the power of how he was able to transform his life with self development. And I feel like business, that's why I love business so much, because regardless of whatever business you go into, whether you have a hair salon or a taco truck, like businesses take the best out of you. They challenge you to think different. They challenge you to get better, to strategize, to be creative, how to increase more income, right? How to impact more people, how to get more clients. Like you have to get better in order to have success in business. Because it's like if you don't get better, you're not gonna make no money, right? So I feel like that is the hardest thing in business, is that you have to face yourself. Like you have to learn what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are. Every day you're going to continue to challenge yourself, and it's a never-ending cycle, because as you get to another level, you got to get better there, and then you got to keep getting better, and you're just always raising the bar. So you're always going to be frustrated, and you're always going to be evolving and just changing as a person. So I feel like that is the hardest thing, because that's most people won't do that, so they never start a business. They just stay comfortable, because when I was on my jobs, like my 9 to 5s, nobody was challenging me to get better. Nobody was telling me, hey, what kind of trauma do you have to get better at? Like, are you good with people skills? Like nobody cared. You just show up, you do your job, you go back home, and that's it. Every day, repeat 30, 40 years of your life. So I feel like that's the hardest thing, but also the best thing in business is that it forces you to develop yourself.
Yeah. And you have to be intentional. I think you have to be intentional. I think that's when going back to the self-development with dad, even with us, like he was very intentional with us. Like I remember for us too, that we were older when, like, obviously the boys are younger, but we were the ones that kind of dealt the time that they were doing their businesses. And he would actually pay us for us to read self-development books. Yeah, and he would quiz us, so he knew, like, oh, do you really know it?
And
so
I wouldn't read them, actually.
You didn't read the back.
Give him a summary.
No, he had the fun ones. I remember the ones that he would also get, Los de la Vaca.
Yeah.
We used to love those because they were like more kid-friendly, I guess, more like that. So you can kind of relate more of our age. But yeah, he would always try to at least, so we would listen to my dad listening to audios and listen to my dad watching. At that time, I don't think
Maxwell cassettes.
Yeah,
in his car, and I hated them. I would get in his car and I would laugh at him. Dad, ¿otra vez a poner su CD? And then he would get all sad because I would like talk crap to him. And it's funny because then now I'm older.
Now she's doing it.
I'm doing it. But it's funny though, because it's like that's a beautiful thing, like to hear my dad self. Now that I think back, it makes me like teary. Like that's a beautiful thing. Most people don't have that,
But it's a culture. I think with, like, going back with someone that was so used to partying, he was never a bad dad, as in like he was not responsible, because he was responsible. We had whatever we need. But yeah, he had that alcoholism. Alcoholico. That's what it was. I mean, but it went from one day him making that decision and saying, así. So it's not like he didn't have to go to no rehab. He didn't have to do nothing. He just had that power of will or willpower to say, you know what? I need to change. I need to do something different. And he did it. And you would see him so different. And then in a suit with no bigote, like he looked so different. And a tie all the time. Yeah. So now that he's older, he went back to his cowboy style. But when he was doing business, you would always see him in his suits, his tie, his white shirts, dressy shoes, no bigote, clean shaven all the time. So for us, that was a huge change, but it was a good thing. I think it was definitely something. I think it was good when he made that decision, and like she said, like he self-developed and he taught that to us. Yeah. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go into the we call it the rapid fire. You want to go ahead and start that one?
I'll let you get started here now.
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna start with the rapid fire. So basically, what we're gonna do Q&A. So I'll start with your first one. What would be your dream collab or your dream job?
My dream. I don't have a dream job, but in the next 5 years, one of my goals is to have like a, I don't know if it's going to be like a clothing store, clothing brand, I don't know, something in clothing. I've always loved that. It's like another one of my passions. So that would be definitely, I'm excited to kind of dabble a little bit into that just because I feel like a business takes so much of your energy that you just can't like drop it. Just, so right now I'm just trying to get my business to be a little more stable and run on its own. And then I can start venturing and keep my business, but then start kind of touching into more creative things. That's also another passion of mine.
Yeah, and I remember you always talked about that. I remember when you started the business and you started in that field. I remember that you said, this is going to be the vehicle. I literally remember that you said that word, this is going to be my vehicle to get me to, because you always dreamt of having your own brand. You actually went to school for that.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So the reason why I left school was because they told me I was going to be 150,000 in debt. I was going to graduate at 21, and if I got a job, I was going to get a job at one of the big
Firms or
like
whatever.
the stores, and basically they pay you to design for whatever
Person,
company, J.C. Penney, whatever. You don't get paid that much, so then I had to pay. You have to do things based off like their just. You don't really have a lot of freedom creatively. So the way that I seen it was like, okay, I'm gonna go back home with dad, move back with my dad. I was like 18, barely off high school. So I was like, okay, I'll go back, make my own money, save it. So when I go into fashion, I could do it without restraints. Like I could fund myself. I don't have to worry about anybody having to fund my business or try to control what I can or I can't design or I can or I can't do. And I can do it on my terms and I can own it fully. And that's kind of the way that I seen my finance business is like, okay, that's going to get me financially in a good place where I can fund my other dreams without me having to have restraints.
That's good. That's good. My first question is, what is the big red flag that you ignore, just in general?
I think the biggest one is character. I feel like that's the biggest thing. And I feel like when you're younger, I feel like when you date older, you're a lot more wiser. But I feel like for me, that's what it was. When they don't take care of themselves physically, they don't treat people around them right, they don't treat, you or I just feel like character. Little lies turn into big lies, So it's like I feel like when I was younger, I didn't really think of character. That wasn't like the thing. Normally, you're like, okay, they're cute or they're nice, and that's kind of that. But yeah, definitely character. If they don't take care of themselves, like you guys said, run,
Run.
run. If they don't treat their family right, they don't treat the waiters right.
Run.
If they lie about little things, run. Okay, don't. Yeah, I'll bite you in the butt later. Yeah, for sure.
Do you mean like date older as in older men, or date older like as in you're older?
I mean, as in, like for me, dating older now, I'm excited to see who I end up with because I feel like I'm a lot wiser now, than I was when I was, my 20s. And that cost me a lot. So
Now let's say, I know we all have bad days. We all have our ups, we have our downs. What is your go-to fix for when you're having a bad day?
I think the biggest thing for me is gym. Honestly probably actually my whole life I've actually worked out. I remember I was actually remembering this other day when I was small. I was probably like maybe in high school, maybe 15, 16. I would do these like little workout calendars, and me and my little brother, which was like the older one, he'd follow me everywhere, Ivan. He'd work out with me. So I would work out in the living room. I would do my little thing. So working out and being active has always helped me, but I feel like just in the last maybe 3-4 years maybe I've like taken it more serious, where that honestly to me is like the best way to just kind of relieve all the stress. So definitely that's the biggest thing. I remember times feeling like having the roughest day, and all I'm thinking about is I need to get to the gym, because when I get out of the gym I'm gonna feel so much better, more energy. And then also you're building your body at the same time. That is like added plus, So I feel like gym definitely is the biggest one for me.
Nice. Okay, that's a good one. Now, if your life had a soundtrack, what will be your number one song?
The Jaws theme song, okay? Just because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like my personality always, my whole life, my brain is just always going. I love chaos a little bit, I thrive in it. Just, I feel like that would be like the biggest thing for me is like whether it's good stuff, funny stuff, whatever, but I feel like there's always something going on.
So the dramatic
the
sound.
the dramatic sound for sure. For sure.
That's hella funny. What's a lesson that you have learned the hard way that now makes you unstoppable?
I feel like the ability to love yourself is the biggest thing. I feel like as for example, like coming from like I guess a childhood where love wasn't really demonstrated, you kind of grow up as like a person that you seek love from the wrong places, you know? I feel like either you're clinging onto people to give you that and then you end up in the wrong situations, or you're giving so much love because you need the validation, not because you're just the nicest person. A lot of times we give love because if they acknowledge us, that's like you kind of become addicted to like the energy of them thanking you or needing you, and that's also not healthy. So I think the biggest lesson that I've learned in my life is that you have to learn to love yourself 1st before you give it to other people. And you have to really sit down with yourself and ask yourself like, how do I show love to myself? You know, whether that could look different for everybody. You know, I learned for me, it's me sitting down with me. So like if people call me from like when I wake up to like 10 o'clock, I normally don't answer because that's my time for me. I literally just sit, I put music, I spend time with myself, I pray, I'm in quiet spaces. Like I've learned to give love to myself, so therefore I don't need it from other people. So I feel like that's the biggest thing that has hurt me in the past, and also the thing that I've learned to be able to give that to myself.
So, what advice would you give a woman who's doubting herself even before getting started?
I think the biggest thing is you're always gonna have the doubt. You just gotta do it. I remember 2 years ago for me actually, I had to restart my business from zero. I was in a partnership before. I actually owned a business with my ex-husband, and we were really dang good at working the business together. Like we were really good partners in the business. Was probably the best thing we were good at. And when I lost that, it really kind of shook my identity. Like I remember being at my sister's house right after my separation and just telling her like my biggest fear is that I'm not going to be able to lead my business on my own. And that was always my fear. Am I going to be good enough? I have so much fear, anxiety about it, but I just kept going little by little, kept moving, putting action in, and I started getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I feel like that's what happens in life. If you feed that fear, you'll always stop there and you get paralyzed and you don't do anything. And then you're never gonna realize or see what you can become because you don't push yourself. So I feel like just start, just do it. You want to get in. I was talking to somebody the other day that they want to get in shape, but they don't know how to start. I was like, just start. You know, I remember when I started taking gym serious, I started going 2 days out of the week for 30-minute workouts. And then that became 3, and then that became 4, and then that became 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then that became 5. And I feel like it's like that in everything in life. Just do it and you just get better.
Yeah. Another thing I feel like when you know, like you said, when you're like in one of the toughest situations, like I feel like you focus on getting better on those things that you were nervous about. And I remember you were like, you would tell me, but I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, dude, like you did it before. Don't take the credit from what you did. I remember I told you that. I'm like, don't take the credit because if you build it once, he didn't build the business by himself. You build it together. So if you did it once, what tells you that you're not going to do it? Just focus on those things. And you did. You focus on those things that you knew were maybe not your strong points. They were not your weaknesses, but they were not your strong points. And you focused on that and you developed and you worked on those things hella hard. and that's why you're doing a good job. And but it's the thing is like you saw what you needed to work on, and you did.
Yeah.
Now I know that talking about that, what has been one thing that keeps you motivated when you're getting like overwhelmed or things are just not going your way, you're getting discouraged? What keeps you motivated?
Um, Honestly, the biggest thing for me is my faith. Honestly, that's like the biggest thing. I just feel like normally when we get unmotivated or frustrated or in ruts, it's because we kind of forget maybe like what we want out of life. Our clarity maybe is not there. Of course, life happens too, so I feel like just me praying sometimes when I feel like moments like that, or taking myself to church, whether I feel like it or not, that has helped me. And then also, I feel like trusting wherever God's putting you is the biggest thing. And then also, I feel like action as well helps. Because here's the thing, you're not always going to feel like motivated. Most people think like, oh, well, wait till this is in order and that's in order, and then I'll do this. It's like, no, like just go, just start, right? Just do it, just move. And then little by little, you start, your excitement comes back, your motivation comes back as you're moving through whatever challenge it is that you're going through. That makes sense. But that's the biggest thing that I would say is for sure my faith. And definitely action, just doing stuff whether you feel like it or not.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of leads to this question: what does boss babe energy mean to you?
Boss babe energy to me, honestly, I feel like it's you becoming the best you that you can be. I feel like we as people were created to like challenge yourself to and serve a purpose. So I feel like us trying to chase that best version of us inspires others to want to do the same. And I feel like that is what boss babe energy is just you as a woman being the best you can be and also uplifting other people. Sometimes people are so we forget like what saying something positive to somebody can do in their life. I know there's been times that the other day, actually a couple weeks ago, I was at church and I was just like breaking down in church, like crying. And there's this lady that's sitting next to me, and she just like went like this to my hand, and then she seen me taking notes, and she gave me her pen. And I remember just feeling like just positive energy, like just her doing that, like two little things. Okay, I don't even know who this lady is, but like I felt like we just need to be better people, and we got to be better to people, because sometimes we get stuck in our bubble, and when you get stuck in your bubble, you don't serve anybody, not even ourselves sometimes. So I feel like that's what that is you becoming the best you could be, and then also encourage other people around you, whether they have the same beliefs or they don't, like encourage them.
And also, I think, like, hablando bien de las otras personas, the other day I seen a video of alguien grabando a alguien sin que la otra persona se dé cuenta, una mujer muy bien trabajada, que se nota que le mete sus buenas horas al gimnasio y se cuida muy bien, y pues traía una, creo que eran like really short shorts or something like that, pero se miraba bien, pero pues obviamente estaba presumiendo lo que tenía, ¿verdad? Y la persona que la estaba grabando puso, ya no tiene respeto a la gente or some shit like that. Nunca comento yo en esas cosas, pero ese día sí comenté. Le dije, en vez de estar perdiendo su tiempo criticando a otras personas, ponga ese tiempo usted al gimnasio para que se vea igual or something like that, you know? And I never really commented and stuff like that, but like me dio como coraje, like, why are you trashing people? Like, they put envidia, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
But see, it's normally people hate just because they're jealous of
what they want to have.
Yeah, so that's why it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, that does nothing for you. Instead, like, see it as motivation.
I want to be like that, you know?
Or like, hey, good job, Like, you can see you're putting a lot of work. It's like, just be positive.
Yeah, for sure. And even like what you mentioned with like just the little gestures that sometimes I remember one time I heard something about, you always want to smile to someone, whether they smile back at you or not, because you don't know if that smile is gonna make their day, you know. And it's true. Like sometimes let's say we're going through a lot of shit, or and it's something like those little gestures and those little things of someone just simply like, hey, it's gonna be okay, or just a smile like that, like, hey, you know, that it just kind of gets your mind out of what you were thinking. So for sure, those little things definitely are a good one. Now, what's the biggest misconception that people see or that you encounter with by you working in the line of business that you work with, and also your success that you're having?
I feel like the biggest misconception is that you have to be nice and put together and have a super outgoing personality, be great at sales. Like so many times in like my whole career, people have told me like, "Oh, I don't think I can do this because this and that and this." And honestly, I feel like that's the not a good way to think, because I think about when I started, like I've always been a hardcore introvert. I'm super socially awkward. Like most people don't know that, but like I just cannot be around people. Like being around people sometimes is a little uncomfortable for me. You know, I've just always been like that. I've been in my own little bubble. I was horrible at math. You know, took pre-algebra like even in college and never passed it. Okay, so it's like I was nothing of what somebody would say like this person's gonna be great at finance, you know. But you know what, I remember when I started here, I knew that I had a lot of weaknesses. I knew that I was gonna have to do a lot of work. So I said, okay, let me write this dang list on all the things that I gotta get good at. I suck at people skills. Okay, let's get better in people skills. I suck with my confidence. Let me work on my confidence. I suck at being around big parties of people. I get anxiety. Okay, I gotta work on that. So it's like I wrote down all the things that I was bad at, and I just started getting better in them. And then I just naturally, I started getting better at the business. My business started growing. I started retaining people. People started following me. But it's like I just focused on getting better. That was always my focus. And I feel like in anything that you do, you're never going to be qualified right away. You have to get better. And then you can do literally anything that you want to do as long as you're willing to obviously work hard and get better in every area.
Exactly. That's true.
Says, what's one boss babe rule that you live by every day?
The biggest one for me is just give everything that I have today. I feel like I'm really hard on myself in just making sure that every day and everything that I do, like I have a couple like values that are really big to me, like my faith, my family, my business, and my fitness, my gym. So every day I try to do the best that I can. And honestly, some days, all I have is like 30%, you know, like I'm struggling or I'm going through things, but I make sure that I give my 30%. You know, there's days that I can give 80%. There's days that I can give 100, but it's like every day that I go, I try to make sure that I give everything. And then also in every area, in when I'm with my family, I might not be there all the time. You know, I can't give them the quantity time right now, but I make sure that I give the quality time. Like I'm there, I put my phone away. If I'm with my nieces, like I'm with my nieces, I'm playing with them, I'm not just around them. You know, like I just try to be intentional about giving the best that I can wherever I am for that day.
Yeah, and it's definitely the quality time. I know, like when you visit and when you know the girls spend time with you, they're always talking about, oh, we did this and we did that, and so they definitely enjoy it. I think, like you said, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. You know, it's like, what's the point of, let's say we're there all day, but we don't even have a conversation. You know, everyone's on their phone. Exactly. And definitely they're always doing something. So I know they definitely enjoy that. So now what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna do a game. So I didn't even know this game actually existed. It's called Sip and Spill. We actually usually sometimes on one of our episodes we'll add just a sip and spill, but we do it or stories that people tell us. But I actually found the game, so I'll kind of go over the rules a little bit. So basically, we have two piles of cards. One is the spill and one is the sip. The goal is going to be to get 5 points. Okay, so the spill, they're all worth 1 point. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab a card. We're gonna start, and you're gonna start first. We're gonna go around. You're gonna grab a card. You're gonna read it to yourself. If you want to spill it, you're gonna say it, read the question, and answer the question. That's 1 point. If you say I don't want to say it before you read it out loud, You're gonna pass it to me. Whoop.
Sorry.
You're gonna pass it to me, but you're gonna get a card that says sip, and whatever that is, you gotta sip, and you also gotta answer whatever it is. Okay. If like let's say it goes to me, I skip it. It goes to her, she skips it, and the question comes back to you. No matter what, you have to answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. You can go ahead and start.
Could I sip already?
Okay, yeah.
Let's run up. Cheers. All right, let's see. And there are
Hopefully
some
we get some
interesting questions. Let's see.
for Sevilla only.
No, I know.
All right, ready.
Aquí
You
lo
start
traje
it.
contra mí.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah, answer
I
you.
think a little bit, yeah. Well, okay, hold on. Only a little bit on one. Okay, have you ever shaken yourself or beat yourself?
What?
Just beat a little bit. And don't lie, women. I know you have laughed a little too much.
Oh my god.
Just one, not share, okay? Just
Low-key.
a little sprinkle.
Oh my god. That's too funny. We're not supposed to spill sip. No te creas.
Because I
Pero
want
te
to
pones-
En la botella.
All right, dice. Oh, I can't read it. Let me see. Okay, I'll do this one. It says, if you could change one thing about yourself, and you know it, what would it be? If you wouldn't, then pull a sip card. I would change one thing. What's one thing that we said we always want to do? One
What was
thing
it?
physically.
Mommy
Last-
makeover?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
My makeover.
I get that point because I answered.
Yes.
Don't do
I know.
Yeah.
Let's do no todas anotadas.
Nos cuidamos.
Ay,
Llévame contigo when you do it and I'll take care of you.
órale.
See if I
Ya
get a
dijiste
discount.
eso. Ay,
Dice, if you could go back in time, what would you say to your younger self?
Mm.
Ay, no seas tan pendeja. No, I think there's a lot of things que por falta de, no sé, falta de madurez, falta de sabiduría, acepté y dejé que ciertas personas hicieran. So I think I will be like, no, mija, ponte las pilas and like defiéndete or I don't know what's the proper word. Como,
Yeah, pues,
like stand up for
stand
yourself.
up for
kind of thing.
yourself,
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Your turn, Fabi.
Again?
Well, she gets all the spicy ones.
Sending me vibes that way.
I know. Are you gonna answer? You're not gonna answer. That's a question.
Thinking about it. So
You're sipping or you're spilling?
Oh, damn. It says, okay,
Let's do drum roll.
have you ever had sex with someone while someone else was in the same room?
Oh shit.
No.
So
No.
say yes.
What? Esa ni lo sabía. Y eso es la
I don't
carrera.
want to talk about it. But yes.
Elabora.
Ándale, ay, güey. I didn't know you were so open-minded, babe.
No, like they were with us. They were just in the room.
Nah, no, I think it meant that or something else.
like,
No, he was in the room.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Yeah, no,
¿a todas las mamás? Y los papás que sí.
no, just like in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's make it clear.
In
Yeah.
the room away sleeping.
Oh, sleeping. Nah,
Ah, eso no cuenta. Yo creo que ya, Javier me lo trae.
Pensé que, anyway.
Yo también. Pero I was like,
¿Quién son las más pensadas acá?
yo dije, no, no me sabía tan, Fabi was a little wild.
No, I don't share.
I don't share. All right, what's the meanest thing you've ever said to someone? Yeah, I think that one. I think like yeah. I think a lot of times when we were growing up, like we were so different in age. And I think for sure, like one thing that I do remember is like I would always tell her like, "Oh, I wish I didn't have a sister," or a veces hasta le decía, como ya ves aquí todos los hermanos, you're adopted. Y se enojaba. And remember, so for sure, that I will definitely say I am definitely very glad I have a sister. Eso sí. But of course, it's like when you're young and we are such big age gap that I was a teenager, dolor de cabeza, punzada, like, and she was at that age where everything she would tell. And so definitely I think it was that, but I was never meant in a bad way.
Yeah.
But I think that one was one. That was one.
I was hoping for something more like
I know.
agresivo acá.
Como las mías, que les salen más como la mía.
No, es que si digo algo, luego lo quemo a alguien. Aquí no, pero otra persona que para qué quieres.
Not that I... Dice, have you ever clogged the toilet somewhere other than your home? If yes, pero not that I remember.
No. You
No.
sure? Ay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Sí, es Fabi.
Que me toque las facilitas a mí.
I know. Okay, yeah, it's so embarrassing.
No. All right, so now you gotta get this one, and you gotta sip first.
Okay, wait, so sip
The
first?
sip,
I've
and
never
then-
actually gotten this.
Take that one back.
And then whatever it tells you, you have to answer since you skip. And if this makes it back to you, if we else, then you have to say it no matter what.
It says drink if a bad haircut has ever ruined your life. I didn't
I'll drink for you.
But I messed up my bangs in high school. They were like this small and I had to put
It's 'cause-
the bobby pin.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
That's because what she did,
A month.
she did this, lift down, pull them, cut them. So she had to put like a bobby pin, like right here.
So
I remember that.
definitely messed up my
Oh my god, let me see.
No, you guys gotta.
Alright, it says, drink if you used to sneak out. From my house? No, I never sneaked out, so. No.
Then you just answer it. Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Me escucha la tuya por andar acá. Anyway. Dice, have you ever masturbated somewhere other than your home? Yes, I have. And I enjoyed it.
Hey, you took my word.
Oh, my turn.
Your turn.
Never mind. Ya va a darle país.
Oh my god. Jeez.
We gotta make it come back around.
Okay, I'll kill it here.
Okay.
So it says, have you ever taken a nude somewhere other than your place? If yes, where? And outside of my place, no. I will leave it there.
So you did take it, but not outside your
But
place?
not outside. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like outside.
All right. And this is easy. Have you ever reached out to someone after they ghosted you? If yes, explain why. I will say yes.
I was going to say you cannot lie because I know of one.
Yes, that one. So I think that's
Don't
one.
say name, pero...
No, but I think that's what we're talking about. No, you know.
Es de cuando vivíamos
When we lived
juntas.
together. Yeah. It was, I was single at that time, and I was talking to this one guy. And basically, I think that day we were actually drinking at the house.
Y yo le decía, Luz, no lo hagas. Y no me hizo caso. Así como yo no le hice caso a ella, pero ya.
Have we talked about this one?
I think so. Uno alto. Muy alto. No? Okay. Never mind.
That's another one. No. Eso me hizo ghost. Eso me hizo ghost. Eso también es. So instead, we were drinking at home, and we were texting, and I told him, oh, you should stop by. And I think he thought he was getting lucky. We were just hanging out, he was getting drunk, and I think he was thinking I invited him, so,
Mm-hmm.
And after that, obviamente no, pues no, nada. He went home, whatever, And I think like he didn't talk to me for a couple of days, and I was like, okay, I already figured. And then I messaged us like, hey, like it's cool, like I know that that's where you thought you were coming, but like that's not me. And I remember I told him, and he's like, yeah, I think we should just keep it as friends. But I think it was because of that, because he thought he was coming to get
He didn't
lucky.
get like,
Yeah, so yes.
hace mierda. Mejor no me pases nada.
Tú mejor no comentes.
Oh, pues.
No te creas. Ándale, eso que nos quedamos así, ¿verdad?
That's a good one.
Well, no, because si no te digo a ti, le digo a alguien más. So. Anyway, it says, have you ever had a secret hookup you kept from your friends? So, no.
Mira,
Yo
amiguitos.
saco toda la sopa. Yo. Ya tengo 5.
Yeah?
Oh, never mind, me falta
One
uno.
more. And I think all of us have.
Yeah. No, I have
No, she has 3.
Oh, no, it's 3.
Oh.
I skipped one too. Whoever. Well, yeah, because remember the one that you answered and we didn't?
Yeah. I was going to say, well, whoever loses is going to choose, but if Fabiola needs more, échale más.
Ahí le voy a hacer así, si quieres.
And this one I'll say, it's an easy one. Have you ever been in a physical altercation with a girl? If so, spill.
You ever got in a
And
fight?
I've never actually, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Actually,
Oh.
never,
Yeah, no.
actually never, I don't get into confrontations, never physically fought. anybody,
Yeah.
Ever.
I was going to say to you, have? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, no.
De la cromas de luz.
No, it's okay, no.
No. I'm sure my sister has.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah.
On a fight?
Altercation. Like just an altercation?
I got into it with someone, but I never.
That's fine. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But not like physical fight. Okay, I pass.
Oh my goodness.
It's okay. You have experience with those.
Oh, yeah? I want to hear now.
Do yours.
Está cabrona.
Drink, you ever owned a friendship bracelet? Was it Summer Camp or Taylor Swift? No, never.
¿Qué what?
If I've ever owned, one of those friendship bracelets?
Oh.
That people gave each other, or get Taylor Swift concert or in camp? No. So no drink. You want to go? Or you want to sit?
She made you drink before answering the question, so.
Oh,
Órale.
it was
no le
sick?
saque.
Oh, yeah.
Ujú.
I forgot.
Pero, I was like, I don't remember, so does it even count?
You have experience with this?
I can read it, but I don't remember.
Try to answer it. to
Should
the best
answer.
of your
Best of your knowledge.
ability.
Una más o menos.
It says, how old were you when you started masturbating? For sure over 18. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a late bloomer.
Cabrona. ¿Qué empezaste a los
You
16?
got 5?
Yeah, I got 5. I win.
Good job.
Are you 2?
Drink.
Check.
Check.
Yes.
You gotta wait for.
Está cabrona. Ay. Anyway, la vida es buena y hay que disfrutarla. Ya anda peda tu sister, ya. Ya te le subió.
Es que me dio risa. Porque creo que es que tú, es para ti que tienes mucha experiencia en esto. Pero,
Let's do another one just for the fun of it.
Yeah, let's do it. I
Let's do
feel
it.
like these.
alright, let's start with Fabi. Let's go.
Give me a
Sigue,
good one.
fam.
Let me read
No
some.
skipping, though.
You didn't even chug it. You didn't even chug
Oh,
it.
no, but this was the same one.
Alright, just change it.
¿Las encimamos o qué?
Yeah, this one was the same one.
Maybe that's why. Oh yeah, I think so. I think
Oh.
we put hers and mine. Just
we
cut
put
it in
Poner
half.
arriba.
Let
Yeah.
me just
Just cut them in half.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well.
It was meant for you.
What's the most public place you've had sex? I've never had sex in a public place.
But you should have skipped it.
Well, I mean, it's easy.
No, we get to answer. Que te tocó la- que te toque una buena saca. Ya te toca.
No, yeah, no. What is that?
¿Eh?
Hmm?
¿Qué dijo?
Yes, I know. It says, what's the meanest thing someone has ever said to you? Hopefully, we can laugh about it. I don't think.
No,
Okay,
that
otra.
was the same. That was
Yeah, is that the one that you
yeah,
brought?
that's the same.
So, what part was the one that we're not supposed to touch?
You're supposed to touch this one.
But that's the one I got it. Oh, yeah, no. Have you ever hooked up with members of the same family? ¡Oh! José Luis dice que es mi primo. Como el séptimo, ¿sabe qué? It's because we did the, what is it, the DNA, what's it called? Ancestry.
Yeah.
Y salió, like, he actually bought it for him. He did it. And then I did it. Like, he said, oh, then I forgot for what he gave it to me for, like, Valentine's or no sé qué, porque I was like, oh, I want to do it. So me lo regaló, and then I did it. I sent mine. And then, like, maybe a few weeks later, I guess when you have the app, so he said, oh, someone that's related to you, if you want to check it out. He got a notification. I didn't. He got a notification because I guess he was already, like, a member, and I was new. Y decía que salió mi nombre. La prima y la prima se ve arriba, o sea que güey. Pero decía como like ace, like como él para abajo todavía no es nada. Pero I was like, what are the chances? No, I was like, what are the chances? So what power did we say?
That's the, yeah.
Let's move this out of the way. Okay.
All right.
Oh, sí, esto, one more.
One more?
Yeah, and that's it.
Okay.
Ya me gustó.
I know. Media hora después aquí seguimos.
It's an easy one. Tell us about the weirdest crush you ever had.
Weirdest?
I don't even know what that even means.
Otra.
Weird, like,
A ver, otra.
Una
We
buena.
want a spicy
Yeah.
one.
Oh my god. Same one as last thing.
Okay.
How about you choose one and
Que no haya...
I read
you
it.
guys, how about you guys
Okay.
choose one of those just of the packet, not the last.
No, I'm just gonna shuffle.
Find a good one and then just give me that one. And then
You found one there. Nice. Ooh.
give me your best shot.
No, I don't think so. She said she don't share.
No, pues todas estas ya las hicimos.
Entonces estaban back.
No, I don't like any of the... Well, esta está 2-3, pero not really. Esta.
Esta.
No, esta.
That's it? Okay, grab that's option one.
Oh, no. That one's a good one, too.
This one.
Ándale, esa. Nada más picosita.
All right.
This one.
You gotta answer. That's the deal.
Honest.
Honest.
Yo contesté las mías
Oh.
en su debido tiempo.
How many people have you slept with? I didn't choose. No, okay. Let's get. Is it under one hand? Is it
Hold
one?
on, let me think about it first. Hold on. Like if it was that, Jesus.
It counts?
I
I know we wouldn't, but it does count.
If it was good, I'll be on it. I'm just kidding.
Te cabe en una mano, ocupas o los pies.
No, let me think
But the
about it.
person is my
Let me figure it out right now.
Oh, good. She's not even telling folks.
Me cabe en una mano.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Dale.
Y esa es la que cuenta.
That's what I cuentan, si no, que cuentan.
Ya no te le costillas.
No,
Oh my god, this was a fun game. Oh my god. So now just to end it, do you want something that maybe caught your eye or something that you learned from the episode with Fabi?
Definitely. Well, before anything, thank you for being here. It's been a fun one, definitely. Hopefully que podamos hacer otro en el futuro.
I already have one in mind, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Pero I think for me, como dijiste I mean, you went through this rough patch. We won't get into details, pero te ayudó a ver por ti, quererte a ti. I think as we go through life, a veces se nos olvida ponernos como prioridad. Y me recordaste a una... Ay, no me acuerdo qué libro era, para que te miento, pero decía... If you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? So,
That's true.
Sería para mí como God, self-love, then everything else.
For sure.
Yeah. I think
Nice.
that's a good one.
I think the one thing that I actually or caught my eye or whatever it was mainly, I think, when you said also, like, sometimes we don't want to do it. Sometimes we, you have that 30% that's the only thing that you have to invest to whatever you're doing. But it's of that, hey, go do it. Like, no matter if it's 10%, 20%, do it, because it's obviously better than you don't even try at all. I think that one was a good one. And then just to end, I want you to share, what is your last tip for mujeres chasing their dreams?
I think the biggest thing that I can tell women, and it's like another one of my purpose and callings, is that you have to you have to be financially independent. Because I feel like a lot of times as women we get stuck in situations with honestly not healthy relationships or not healthy lifestyles, or just a whole bunch of crazy things because of money, so it's like I feel that if you can be a great mom, and you can also be a great business owner. Like, you can do both things, you can have a great relationship, and then you can also have a great relationship with yourself, so I feel like the biggest thing would be just go be the best you that you can. Like, what do you like, what do you want to do? Maybe it's hair, maybe it's nails. Like, what is your passion? Like, do that and develop yourself, and then also make your own money. So like that, if you get caught in situations where, you know life happens, and that your life gets taken away from you in the way that like your norm, then you have something to stand on, and you know who you are. And I feel like that makes it easier transition for me. I feel like in my marriage, I feel like I kind of gave a lot of my power, I gave it away to him, to not intimidate him or not overstep him, or I'm too strong. And it's like it was always that verbiage of like me having to kind of make myself small for him to feel bigger. And I feel like, and I did that, I gave all my power away. When that was taken away from me, I feel like it's taking me longer to kind of bounce back up, because I felt like I had to kind of reconstruct myself. And I feel like if you are solid in who you are, it's going to make it easier for you to move and be happier, and for you to be enough on your own. And then all the other stuff is just extra stuff. So just be financially independent. Go for what you want. Don't always just put the world in front of you. Like, you matter. If you're good, everything around you is good. And I feel like also your example, your kids learn. So if you teach your kids, I feel like a lot of times women, we, like have heard it where they say like, oh, I stopped chasing my dreams to raise a child. My kids are everything. But it's like, eventually your kids are grown, they leave. And then guess what? They're going to do the same thing. They're going to stop their dreams to take care of their kids, and then they're never going to go see what they can become, So I feel like you can have everything. You can have the marriage, you can have the kids, you can have a career, you can have the money, you can do it all. And I feel like women, we're the best at it, honestly. Multitasking, and we're just beasts, but it's just empowering yourself to be able to do it all.
Nice. Well, thank you, sister.
Yes.
I think the biggest thing I want to tell you, thank you for, taking the time. I know you are super busy. Thank you for taking the time, being here, having some good laughs. I for sure we wanted to make sure like you were one of the first ones, or the first one, to have guests here. As obviously we're all close and we have a lot of stories that you pop up in a lot of them. So it's cool. But I appreciate you. I want you to know that I'm super proud of you and all of us, not just me. Dad, the girls always talk about you. They love you to death. And I want you to know that we are super proud of you and you're killing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Even when you doubt yourself, know that you got people behind you backing you up, and we're always going to be there to lift you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
And no,
Thank you for
always.
having me.
Of course.
Yes.
Now to end,
Pleasure.
just thank you guys for joining. We'll do a toast shortly. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the time to wind down with us. Once again, if you guys like the episode, definitely comment. If you like something here, share your comments with Fabio. What did you think? something that you guys feel we can improve, definitely we're always open for it, or a topic in specific that maybe in the future you guys want to listen. We do have our Instagram page. Everything is going to be on the link below. Definitely like us, share us, for subscribe, and then anything you want to add before?
Yes, just a reminder, we do post the stories on our
Yes.
Instagram of the topics we're going to be doing next. If you want to send your story, always feel free to put it anonymous. We do have that option as well. And just anything for always the support and for trying to help us get better. We've received a couple messages of what like things that les gustaría que cambiáramos o que comentáramos o no sé, de los primeros videos el audio estaba muy bajo, so agarramos unos cuantos comentarios de eso, so we're working still, trying to get better, but thank you for all the support and for staying tuned with us and winding down with us.
Yes, for sure. Now, to end the episode, we're going to toast to boss babes everywhere, killing it, hustling, putting all those, faces, the mom, the wife, the friend, the hustler, everything shining, and yeah, everyone just keep killing it. Thank you. Salud.
Salud.
Pour the bottle, let it flow tonight. Glass half full, never felt so right. Laughs louder than the city lights. Girls on fire, no need to fight. We don't need a reason to toast this season. Wind down, pour it around. Laughter spinning, never touch the ground.